Hey, what's up everybody? Here to do another Wild Eye review. Again, I'd like to thank Rob and all the generous folks over at Wild Eye for sending me this copy of Model Hunger to review for everyone. There's the front, back. Sorry if there's much of a reflection. I'll go ahead and read you the description. A solid story, a fantastic lead actress, gross outs, and tension along the way, Dread Central. Lynn Lowry gives a career best turn, Fangoria. What is Jenny doing in the basement? The directorial debut of horror icon Debbie Rocken is an unsettling, dark-humored critique of the entertainment business, as if John Waters directed the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, New York Cine Radio. Former model and actress Jenny, Lynn Lowry, had been cast aside by the modeling industry when she was a young woman due to her body type, and she didn't take the rejection well. When new neighbors Debbie and Sal move in, they begin to notice strange things happening at Jenny's, as the list of local missing young women begins to grow, and Jenny shares her culinary delights with all the neighbors. Special features include director's commentary, deleted scenes, music video, Easter egg, Voltaire interview, and Babette Bombshell short, which I haven't really checked out the special features yet, but I will. I'm going to go ahead and I got on my TV screen the cast, so I'm going to go ahead and read it off to you. Mary Bulge was Debbie's mom. Babette Bombshell is Susie's secret model. Robert Bozek was Reginald Burke. Carmen Cabanaco, sorry, I know I'm bad at pronouncing some of these names, plays Sal. Bette Cassette played Chloe. Jane Coswell was young Jenny Riley. Rachel Jane Kahn was the hitchhiker. Let's see. We got Lisa D as Missy. Brian Fortune as Colin. Rodney Horn as Susie's secret model. Samantha Hoy as Katie. Susie Lorraine, TV show host Susie. Lynn Lowry, of course, is Jeannie. David Rank was Officer. Jennifer McMahon was the reporter. Kathy Murphy is the coach. Miles Gregory Nickerson, Susie's street team. Michael O'Hare, Officer Dan O'Leary. Mia Page was Young Debbie. Lorette Ryan is Susie's street team. Then we got a couple other street teams. Tiffany Shepis is Debbie Lombardo. So what we got here, like it said on the back, Jenny was a model. In the magazine, I believe, was called Model Hunger, which was a very provocative magazine. Different sexual lingerie. There might have been some nudity or fetishes a little bit. Obviously adult material, but I'm not sure if it was all XXX rated or anything like that. She gets tossed aside by the director. She's no longer on the cover, saying that this was the late or mid-60s, early 70s when she worked with the magazine. And the photographer was saying how nobody cares about that Betty Page look anymore, which really, if you watch the movie, there was nothing really wrong with her body. It's just showing kind of how ridiculous some of the models and what type of beauty is expected. So she obviously, doesn't take it lightly, as the cover says. And it goes to, it starts the present day. You learn that stuff in a flashback, it shows. And the way it starts out, there's some cheerleaders that have to sell some, they're I don't know if it was clothes or whatever it was, shirts, or they're just trying to raise money for their cheerleading squad. And there's a couple of them who end up being unfortunate victims. They enter her house and she seems like all sweet, nice lady, joking around and talking about the neighbors, how they're hard of hearing, and she jokes about their age and everything. And then in her head, she talks about how fake the one girl's breasts are. She actually made a comment to her and upset her, made her go to the bathroom, or want to leave. And she's talking to the other friend downstairs, and in her head, she's calling her a slut and all this stuff and thinking she's all that and she's her beauty and just all these weird thoughts that you hear. And when her friend's coming back down, the other cheerleaders she sees in the kitchen, like some fingers, and like being cooked and leftover body parts, and so she tries to get her friend out of there, but she is knocked out as well and tied up in the basement. There's a lot of blood and gore and body parts being dismembered and eaten. She's becomes cannibalistic, and she talks about their body parts and cuts off different body parts of the anatomy everywhere you can think of on both male and female. And Tiffany Shepis and her husband move in. What was her name? Debbie and Sal, yeah. So they end up moving in, and Debbie doesn't really want to be there. She's moved. You don't know the whole situation at first, but I guess where she is, and she's seeing this new psychiatrist, so she's staying home. And she hears weird noises from the neighbor, and she's kind of suspicious of her throughout it. At one point, Jenny gives like some thighs or parts of a body, cooks up and gives to the neighbor, and the husband ends up eating. And she was hoping that the wife would eat it, and something happens to him, which I won't spoil. But yeah, it's just going through all the people she picks off, and there's the final confrontation between Tiffany Shepis and her later on, and trying to rescue one of the victims. She learns what's going on. It's just a fun, gory, cannibalistic, old lady revenge movie. So it's definitely one I recommend. If you've seen it, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and there will be a trailer right after this video. So enjoy that, and see you next time.
You know, a young woman such as yourself should not be hitchhiking. Come on.
That little old lady, Jenny, the one who lives next door, the one you think worships Satan.
The search for Melissa Wallace and Catherine McGovern continues on.
Well, why don't you girls come on inside and we can discuss what you have to offer me. Your turn, honey pie. Younger, prettier girls always got the roles.